Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Nerds, and well done if you've made it this far in this series of IPL auction reaction, team preview rating, whatever you call it, videos. Okay, we have gone through every single team individually and talked about how we thought they did in the IPL auction. And we've finally got on to Gujarat Titans. Now, obviously, going into the auction, they had their fair share of trouble and turmoil. Hardik Pandya declared that he wanted to leave, or at least so we think. So Gujarat ended up trading him to Mumbai, which was a tactical nightmare, a really, really poor tactical decision. It would have been a lot better for them just to say, here you go to the auction, because then some other team would have had to pay like 25 or 20, maybe even 30 crore for him, because he's such a good player. But there we go. We've talked about that extensively previously. Let's talk about how Gujarat did in the actual auction. Notable purchases for them: Spencer Johnson for 10 crore, Shahrukh Khan for 7.4 crore, Umesh Yadav 5.8 crore, Robin Mins for 3.6, Shashank Mishra 2.2, and then they got some bargains. They got Kartik Tyagi and Azmatullah Omarzai for their pretty much base price. So, what do you think about the Gujarat auction performance, Bench?
I mean, I thought Omarzai was a great buy. I really rate him as a player. And I think that him coming in at base price, probably for cover, let's be honest, but I think that was a great buy for them. As well as the bargain for Kartik Tyagi as well, who has been doing, let's be honest, pretty mediocre at Sunrisers for the last few years, but Sunrisers have been a pretty mediocre team the last few years. Yeah, look, they had a massive shoes to fill for Hardik Pandya, didn't they? I mean, Shubman Gill's already said that he has come out and he's going to fill it in now as captain. But they really had to find a sort of at the start of the auction, I was thinking they would need to find a Hardik replacement, so find another all-rounder. But looking at their side, they're quite evenly balanced anyway. Like, they've got people that can hold a bat all the way down to 8, especially with the impact player rule. They can come in and they can use a impact player on somebody like Avanav Manohar potentially to be able just to lengthen that batting lineup. So yeah, I think they've got a pretty good side, really. You know, I think they've got a pretty good chance to again be around about there in the top few teams. They look really strong again. I think Shahrukh Khan for them was an absolute stroke of genius. They paid quite a lot for him, but I think it just added a bit more in the finishing department. And having Rao Tawatia and Shahrukh Khan in that side, they are both a player that can go and win you a game. With David Miller as well, just above there. I think they're both players that can win you a game. But let's see how our 12 stack up. So James, who have you got for your 12 for?
Well, before I go and say my 12, which I will, don't you worry, I do want to talk a bit more about Shahrukh Khan and why I think you could be right. I think he could do a lot better this season than he ever did for Punjab. And that's because Gujarat have already got finishers in their side. And if you ever see in the side Mushtaq Ali Trophy or the Ranji Trophy, anything, the Vijay Hazare Trophy, they all Tamil Nadu, which is the domestic side that Shah Rukh Khan plays for, they always use him as a proper luxury player. He never plays like a main role in that side. He's always like batting at number 8 and barely ever bowls. So I think he wants to bowl. He's bowled pretty well in the Tamil Nadu Premier League previously, never at sort of the level that the IPL is. But because he gets used as a luxury player quite often, it means that I think he'll be quite used to that role where David Miller and Rahul Tewatia have finished most of Gujarat's games. The batting lineup doesn't tend to get past them very often. And if it does, then it's Shahrukh Khan's time to shine, and very little pressure will be on him in all likelihood. So I think he could thrive there. So yeah, my 12, I've gone for, and I'm expecting slightly different results from both of us here. I've gone for Shubman Gill, who is the captain, and Matthew Wade, who is going to have the gloves. Then I've got Saisa Darson at 3, Abhinav Manohar at 4, David Miller 5, Rahul Tawati at 6, Shahrukh Khan at 7, Rashid Khan at 8, Mohit Sharma 9, Mohammed Shami at 10, and then Spencer Johnson, the Australian left arm young lad who does actually seem quite exciting. Like he's got a lot of skills already. I've got him at 11. And then I've got Umesh Yadav as my impact player, just because you can't really go wrong with having power play bowling of Mohammed Shami, Umesh Yadav, and potentially Spencer Johnson as well. I think that's really strong. They'll take quite a lot of wickets up front. What's yours looking like?
Yeah, I mean, I've got pretty much the same bowling attack as you, but I've got Shubman Gill and Riddhiman Saha opening the batting. I've left out Matthew Wade and I've opted for Kane Williamson. I think that Kane Williamson still has a job that he can do at Gujarat. Saisa Darson at 3, David Miller Saisa Darson at 4, sorry, Miller at 5, Shahrukh Khan and Tuatia 6 and 7, you know, the sort of finisher roles. And then I've got Rashid, Shami, Spencer Johnson and Umesh Yadav as the sort of main bowlers. I suppose the one thing I am missing is, you know, like an all-rounder who can throw a few overs down, but I suppose that's where I've got Shahrukh Khan and Rahul Tawati that can sort of throw a couple of a few overs down. And then I've got Abhinav Manohar as my number 12, but you could equally bring in Vijay Shankar, you could equally bring in Mohit Sharma, you could equally bring in Kartik Tyagi. There's so many options that could fill that spot. So yeah, that's the Gujarat side. I think they look a really strong team though, and I think they're definitely in contention again for a playoff spot this year.
Yeah, they're definitely a weaker side for losing Hardik Pandya. That's an absolute given. However, I don't think it's going to completely cripple them. I think it makes Mumbai a far stronger team, but I don't think it makes Gujarat a completely weak team. So it'd be really interesting to see how they go. Really interested to see what you guys think. Please put it down in the comments how strong you think Gujarat looks and whether or not your kind of probable 12 is going to be the same as ours. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. We will see you very soon in another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also follow our social medias. It's all in the link tree down in the description. So yeah, we'll see you later. Goodbye.